Welcome back, everybody, to another RoadKill Extra. And today we are going to look into my favorite car, the Rotsun, the 200BX that I based off of RoadKill's Datsun 240Z. So, this thing has been seen a few times on BeamNG RoadKill. It was seen in episode 10 when we did the shootout. And then it was seen in season 2, I forget when, maybe like episode 14 or 15. In there, I threw a turbocharged V6 into this thing with a 6-speed manual race transmission. And I think a smaller gear ratio in the rear diff. And this car was faster. It was a lot faster. And to this day that I say that the old straight 6 that was in this thing was a lot slower than what I have now in this car. Of course, this thing is basically a Rust Bucket 200BX. It's got racing suspension, race brakes. It's got the V6 with a turbocharger, as you can see. The bumper that will never go back on. I've tried putting a bumper back on it, and it just fell right off because how beat up this car is. So it stays like that. Now, I know this isn't based off of a 240Z, this is based off of a 240SX, but it's close enough in my book. But some of the things that you have not seen with the Rotsun is that I haven't driven it a lot. This car is sketchy. Legitimately, this is the worst handling car that I think I have in this game. That I've worked on a lot. I came up with this the other day when I was talking to Sean, and I told him it's kind of odd that every car that I work hard on sucks, but every car that I just throw together is genius. It's weird. But the downfall of this thing is the transmission. Not that the suspension is wore out and the thing veers to the left or the right if you go way too fast in a straight line, with nitrous or without nitrous. It is just the fact that the transmission sucks. The transmission gear ratios are terrible in this thing. It's horrible. The car can maybe get the 130 and red lines. This thing gets to 6th gear in no time. It granny shifts in automatic and in manual mode. It doesn't matter what I do, I cannot get this car to go faster. And I know this thing has a lot left in it. There is a lot of room for progress in this car. And it can get way faster, especially with, I think it's 100 shot of nitrous this thing is taking. But this car is everything. It has decent suspension. It has really sticky tires. I mean, I only put, well, to go into a little bit of a backstory here, the reason why the Rotsun was in episode 20 is because it was a backup car in case we wrecked any at the dirt track, which Sean did with his Impala. So, well, his Grand Marshal Impala. But he wrecked it, and Sean got to drive this thing, and Sean inevitably flipped it, but also, as you can see, the transmission sucks in this thing. It didn't go fast at all, and I really do think that this thing can be really fast. I also want to use this thing in the challenge that we're going to be doing with the Mustang and the 3 other Roadkill Project cars. Me and Sean are going to be recording that soon, or Ryan. I'm going to see if Ryan will maybe come over and do the episode, which will be a lot of fun. But this car sucks. It's sketchy, and the trans sucks. I mean, first of all, like, if I go to cruise in this thing, it's in 6th gear the whole time until I stop. That's how bad this transmission is set up. So, my plans are put a new trans in it. I don't know what the trans is going to be yet, but I'm going to put a new trans in it. I'm unsure if I should go auto or keep it a manual. Not sure yet. But I do want to bring this thing on to the show more, and I would love to run this thing against the Mustang, because I think this car will kick the Mustang's ass. I know the Restart Snow probably won't kick the Mustang's ass because that thing is a pig. Even though it is pretty fast, I'll give the 261 cubic inch engine some credit. It's fast. I'm pretty sure the Bolide cart will be a car to beat the Mustang because that thing has incredibly sticky tires and it's just built for track use. Basically, it's one of the best handling cars that I have. And the OG Moonhawk, who knows with that thing? I threw legitimately bias ply tires on it instead of the big nubby off-road tires for the track. That's not going to do very well. But I want to put a trans in it, maybe make the suspension better on this thing. And I don't know if it's going to run in the episode with the Mustang, but it would be awesome to have this thing ready for potentially maybe another episode down the line as a car they can go up against. But other than that, I love this car. This car is awesome. It sounds great. I mean, here, it sounds like the Rotsun. It's, it's a decent car. I'll give it that. It's a very decent car. I like the sound of it, and I just like the car in general, but it sucks to drive. So, I'm going to make this thing better soon, and you'll hopefully see that success of making it better on a future episode.